Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Pardon Our Picks, where perfection is a work in progress. I'm your host, Sam, and alongside me, as always, is Tarik. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm cold, I'm tired, but good week for football. Let's get ready. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's always good to see two of our frequent collaborators, Jessica and Brady. How's it going?
Going well. Expecting some snow, maybe. I don't know.
Here's hoping.
Just a little bit. So, of course, Pardon Our Picks is brought to you by Morningwood Crafter, morningwoodcrafter.com, powered by design, crafted by hand, and in Too Deep of Maryland. Check out the next show on March 12th at Caddy's, starting at 9:30. It's going to be a fun show. Go out and check them out. So, the divisional round is over. We had a couple of upsets. It's been an exciting week. I got to say, other than Buffalo losing, it was exciting to me.
The thing I got to bring up that I was noticing is expecting the trend, 3 out of 4 of the games ended. The decision was made in the last 5 seconds of each game. And then
they were all in the last 5 seconds.
So in the last 5 seconds, and the last one went and I don't count the last game because it went to overtime. But the other 3 games, that one did almost. I was like, it's going to complete the trend. It's going to complete the trend. And then it didn't, but it still went overtime. But yeah, that was all those games came down to the very, very end. So it made big change from the week before where we had utter blowouts. So.
Well, speaking of overtime in the playoffs, what do you guys think? A lot of people have complained that Buffalo didn't get a chance to even possess the ball. You guys think there should be a change in the overtime rules?
Absolutely. I mean, this game that we play, that we watch, that we love, is played on 3 sides of the ball. And after 60 minutes of football, sometimes there isn't a winner yet. So I 100% believe that there needs to be a change. You know, there's been a litany of suggestions pointed out, but both teams should have the ability to possess and retort if they want to win. I mean, this game is played to win. Nobody likes a tie. And I don't think anyone but Kansas City fans enjoyed the ending of that game because both Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes were playing phenomenally. Nobody wanted that game to end. So why end it with only one team getting a chance to play?
It's such a confusing set of rules too. And then I'll let you talk, Jess. Sorry. But to have if you get the touchdown, it's over. But if you get a field goal, they get a chance. And then if the second team gets a touchdown, then the first team gets a rebuttal. It's such a very confusing cavalcade of rules there that it's don't do security through obscurity here. Actually make it cut and dry and make it as entertaining and give everyone a fair chance.
So, as much as I hate how the overtime rules, end up causing the game to go, I don't think I want them to change. I think they found a good medium where, they do both get a chance to possess the ball if one does not get the touchdown, right? So, I mean, in that case, they're kind of walking that line where if you're not playing that well and the other team is challenging you enough to hold you to a field goal, then they do get another chance at the ball. So I think that that's kind of the fairness there. And the other thing being, you should have handled this during regulation. So there's only so many times that we can keep adjusting and keep adjusting and keep adjusting and it still be fair. Whereas fair technically should stop at the end of regulation and they give you the extra overtime. So then, we can't keep saying, oh, well, they should both get possession. Oh, well, now they both should get possession, even if there's a touchdown. I think they gave that extra with the overtime and they gave the extra with, all right, both teams get possession if you're held to a field goal. So I think it's pretty fair.
I'm not going to lie. For many years, I have advocated for the overtime rules to change into what college currently has, where both teams get the ball. One team scores a field goal, you have the other team gets a chance to score the field goal as well. And then you keep going. And after a certain point, you can no longer kick field goals. You have to go for the touchdown. They force you to progress it to a higher thing. But of course, they start you on the 25 as well. I would be okay with something like that. Now, mind you, the current regular season overtime rules are a little different than the postseason rules currently. The regular season is a 10-minute period, get 2 timeouts, and barring a safety or an interception or a touchdown by the offense, the defense does get a chance to rebut. So, but in the playoffs, they up it to a 15 with 3 timeouts, and it's the same thing. You still get, if the offense gets a touchdown, they win. If the defense gets a safety, they win. If the second defense stops them after getting a field goal, they win. But it has come down to this. You saw what happened to Buffalo. They were gassed. They were exhausted. They weren't going to be able to stop anybody. And 9 times out of 10, the team that wins the coin flip in overtime wins the game. So there is a bit of a disparity there. I mean, you can see clearly that one team has the advantage because of one random chance factor. So I think there has to be some kind of change, and I think college currently has it right, and it's I mean they don't share every rule the same, but I think that's the right way to go in my opinion.
And honestly, I think they could take a little something from baseball even. I mean, have the away team start in overtime, no matter whether it's regular season or postseason. Let them drive, see what they do. They kick a field goal. Okay, now it's the home team gets to go. And if they score a touchdown, then that's it. Home team walks it off. That's game. But if they tie, then we do it again. And we do it again until there's a definitive winner, whether the visiting team scores more than the home team or the home team scores more than the visiting team.
Hard for me to take a suggestion from baseball a game that can go on indefinitely if nobody scores.
Correct. That is a fair way of assessing who is the better team. Because eventually, if you watch those baseball games that go 16, 17, 18 innings, they're having pitchers out there, trying to steal bases. They're pushing more on the base pass to really try and end the game and do the extra thing to try and win for their team instead of just advancing on a single to the next base, or, they're trying to take that extra base. So I think if you add a little bit more to it, then
I will say so you guys are all kind of saying similar things, but one thing that you guys keep referring to is like the better team, or like the upper hand being to the one that wins the coin toss because the defense is, or the other team, the defense is gassed and whatever. But the thing is like, does that speak to a bigger issue that maybe the defense needs to be more important than it is? Because defense is still half of the team. So your defense should be performing as well as your offense. If you think about it, you should be able to send your defense out there and be confident that they're going to stop whatever offense they're up against, right? So it shouldn't matter whose offense is on the field first. You still have half of your team out there, right? Like,
as much as I would agree with that, Jess, the game has become so skewed towards offense that as far as penalties and the way that the players coming in are, that it's really hard to get that kind of defense in order to be able to stop them at the end of the game. Yeah, you got decent defenses, but I mean, 10, 15 years ago, teams were not scoring this much. And it's because the rules have changed, and everything is kind of a progression. It's an evolution. When you're evolving the game to make it a more enjoyable experience. Every sport does it in order to grow, because if you don't, you become stagnant and people start to lose interest. So that's why they update things. That's why they change things, tweaks here and there. But I mean, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, my own. I think my major gripe is it's not a flat rule with it. If it was like first person to score wins, I think I'd have less of a problem. My problem is there's other exceptions that if they're met, then the other team gets a rebuttal. Like if no one got a rebuttal, if a safety or an interception or whatever happened, and that's the end of the game, and no matter what happened, it's the end of the game, I'd have less of an issue. But because certain criteria weren't met and therefore they don't get a rebuttal, that's where I find it a little iffy.
Now, let's not get it twisted. Better play calling by the Buffalo Bills with 13 seconds left in regulation. We wouldn't be having this conversation. You squib kick that.
Yeah.
You run more time off of the clock. The Kansas City Chiefs are not on the 25 instead of booting it through the end zone. They're on the 18, 20, 21 maybe. Every yard counts in this situation. So you give Patrick Mahomes 8 seconds instead of 13. What Patrick Mahomes did was legendary. There's no way around it. And we can debate the overtime rules until we're blue in the face. But the fact is the Bills made the wrong call.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely made the wrong call with their prevent.
Well, yeah, let's prevent for 30 yards instead of just playing press man coverage
I hate
and
prevent
making them
defense.
beat us.
Yeah, it prevents you from winning the game.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yep.
All right. So let's take a look at how we have progressed ourselves in the standings. And we're going to start with, oh, look at that. The two hosts are tied for first.
Yes. High five, Sam.
Huh. Jessica, hot on her heels with a 1-3 week. It's okay, Jessica. We still love you.
It's okay. It wasn't a strong week for me, but every game was so close that honestly, I could have gotten them all right. I could have gotten them all wrong, and I would have been
Absolutely. You could have. And that was the beauty of last week. I think it was the most exciting divisional round I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But and Brady, of course.
Who's that at the bottom?
That's me.
Oh, okay. It looks so small from up here.
You know, it's such a far fall from the top. I understand it's so weird seeing me at the bottom of the pile when I'm used to being at the top. I mean, you got to let you guys play some too. So
I don't know. I think I was at the top.
No, definitely weren't.
Doing the peak.
Definitely weren't.
Oh man, that's fake news, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Only two of us have come close to perfect weeks, and neither of them are you.
Yeah, I've come close to a perfect week.
No.
Yeah, I've actually had a perfect week before. Never on this. I don't think I've ever had one on this show. Not this year, anyway.
Fake news.
Maybe back when we were doing Facebook Live.
Yeah. I know. We've come a long way, folks.
Yeah. We used to be on MySpace.
What?
You might be too young for that.
No, I'm not.
Well, before that, we pretty much just put a TV box over our heads and just pretended like we were on television.
Basically, me and Sam just tackling each other with cardboard boxes on our head.
Yeah. It was fun.
Oh, man.
All right, so let's
See, I'm sure Brady doesn't know whether to believe us or not.
I want to have the faith in you guys that you guys actually didn't do that, but then I remember who the two of you are, and I'm like, it's clearly something they would have done.
No.
We
I never
didn't.
had padding.
Yeah.
But did you, though?
I didn't need padding. Actually, when I played in high school, I had padding on there. But outside of the school, I didn't. So.
Oh, Lord.
It'd just be weird for you walking home from practice still with your pads on.
Hey, mean streets of Linthicum, all right.
Oh yeah, Linthicum's so hard.
It's so rough.
Jess is rolling her eyes at you now.
Sam claiming that he never had padding when I specifically remember him and Chris Hopkins stuffing their shirts and chasing us around, and one of them called themselves Fat Cop and the other one was Chunky. Chris, I hope you're watching.
He keeps liking the show, so we'll see if he saw it.
Oh,
This would be a good test. This would be a good indicator.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this week's games, guys. And we're going to start with the AFC Conference Championship. The Bengals, who coincidentally have never lost in the AFC Championship, going against the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Brady, what do we got?
Man, I absolutely love this team's regular season matchup. I think that game came down to one of the best coaching decisions in the entire season, where the Bengals coach continued to go for it on the goal line instead of kicking the field goal just to seal the game, and wound up during penalty after penalty and just bleeding the clock of those precious seconds while Kansas City still had timeouts, and there's nothing that Kansas City could do. So I have the utmost respect for Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati organization. However, Patrick Mahomes is on his Patrick Mahomes stuff again. That man could throw a football through a shoelace and we'd all be in awe, even though he's done it 14 times before. I think these teams stack up really well on paper. I mean, Kansas City's defense is playing okay. Cincinnati's defenses look pretty good. The main reason that I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs is because they have a solid running game. The Chiefs weren't able to run the ball, and they really haven't been able to run the ball all season, even with that revamped offensive line. And the Bengals really have a nice, balanced offense. So I see these teams matching up pretty equally on their defensive side of the ball. But I see the Bengals just having that slight edge in the offense category with those the running backs who have all seen exposure this year and had playing time. Their wide receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, those guys are having a phenomenal year. And Joe Burrow is arguably could be the offensive player of the year just because of how great he is. And I hate saying that because they're a division rival and I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl, but I'm trying to pick a winner here, and I really think the Bengals have a good shot at it this week.
Yes.
So I'm not picking the Bengals this week. I'm picking Kansas City. I do think that the Bengals are going to be a team to reckon with for the next at least couple of years. I think they really got some great weapons on offense. They've got a good thing going with Joe Burrow for sure. Their defense is actually ranked higher than the Buffalo Bills defense, so I think it's going to be more of an interesting game than I initially thought. But Kansas City was ranked lower on offense and defense than both teams. And I mean, once Patrick Mahomes and the offense turned it on, it was
I don't know what they're doing, Jess. Just keep going. Ignore them.
it was there was nothing as long as they had the time on the clock. I mean, all they needed was 13 seconds and he was going to get it done. So the big question is Matthew is going to be still out. And even that was actually a huge issue with the Buffalo game. They had to scratch a ton of their play calls, what they had lined up, because that's what they specifically wanted for Josh Allen's offense. And Matthew being out, they had to completely revamp, and they still got it done. So I think they're on fire right now. I think Kansas City, not necessarily the best team this season, but I do think they're going to win this matchup. I think it'll be close.
All right. All good thoughts and points. And one of you went one way, one of you went the other way. So this is we keep saying this for certain games this year, but I mean, it's supposed to be a tough one. This is a championship game. This is determining who goes to the Super Bowl. So we got Kansas City, who's been in the last 2 Super Bowls. And
the last 4 championship games.
Yeah, last 4 championship games. We have the Bengals, who haven't been in the playoffs in decades.
No. 2015.
Wait, really?
That's almost a decade.
Almost a decade. When you get older, time doesn't mean anything. I am going with the Bengals. I know. Partly because I don't want the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl again. I was talking to.
I like
What was that, Jess? You broke out.
I thought you were gonna say partly because I like tigers.
Eric the Tiger.
Tarik the Tiger King.
And
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going on Netflix. I'm glad I have such an impression of my personality and intellect that's where Jess went. I
I
don't.
Like Tigers.
Wow.
That's why I wear orange. Tigers are orange. Broncos hat, not Bengals hat. This show just went off the rails.
As host, I should try to keep it on track, but I can't.
Because you like tigers too. It's fine.
What's sad is my father-in-law watches this.
oh my god.
Oh no.
Okay, so tell us why you like tigers, Derek.
What is your favorite thing about tigers?
Well, they got more than one color, so I don't have to pick one color, and then they eat meat, and I like meat. I want to be a meatitarian, and all right. To get back on what are we talking about? Football, maybe?
Tigers.
No, we're not
So
talking.
where?
Shut up, Brady.
So why do you like these tigers?
The mighty, mighty tigers. They eat their frosted flakes. So again, I don't want the Chiefs to win. I was talking to Brady at work. I don't like the teams that just kind of dominate all the time. I want to see like some fresh blood because I like tigers. And and so I don't like the Bengals. The Ravens are my local team. They're who I root for here at home. So I don't want to root for the Bengals. But I don't want to see the same people that have been in the Super Bowl keep going and keep going and keep going. I also think they got a chance. They're hitting a hot streak right when they need to hit it. They got the right play calling, which we talked about with the Bills. Excuse me, did them in. So the right calls at the right time when it's just offense against offense, just slamming into each other. So it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's going to be easy or blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but you have Patrick Mahomes has the experience. He's been 4 championships, 2 Super Bowls, and won one of them. So he knows what he's doing. But I think that Bengals, maybe it's another nail biter. Maybe it comes down to the last 5 seconds again. But I think the Bengals are going to come out of this.
I think I'm going to surprise people with my pick. I did pick Kansas City, and I don't think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be, because we had so many close games last week, I think that this actually ends up being a blowout by Kansas City, winning by almost more than 2 scores. Kansas City has been in this situation, like you said, the past 4 years. They understand the gravity of the situation. They understand everything that's going on around them, and they have an incredible offense and a defense that's at least improved over the year. The Bengals, yeah, they absolutely have the tools to beat Kansas City. But I think the X factor this year is the moment itself. The Bengals have been in the playoffs since 2015, hadn't won a playoff game since 1990. So
That's what I was thinking of for decades, by the way, was winning one,
yes.
not that they've been in one.
Now,
My
mind
point is
you,
still valid.
yes, they did break some records. They'd never won on the road in the playoffs. So they at least did that, and then they broke their streak of non-wins of 7. So there was that. But Kansas City is just they're hot right now, and they just came off a big win against a good team. I think Kansas City wins this one. I'm going to say by more than 2 scores at the minimum, simply because I think the Bengals get those happy feet. And now Joe Burrow did throw some bad passes last week, I think, because the moment got to him a little bit, and I think that's what we're going to see this week. So I know, big prediction, big moment. It could change the leaderboard at the top of.
I was about to say, because you and I are tied for first,
Yes.
this may be the deciding factor on who wins.
It may, and that's what happened last year with me and Jessica at the top of the playoffs.
Yeah,
It came down to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah, and I ended up winning it.
Well, so far our picks are the same this week, and I don't think I'm close enough.
No, you're one behind us.
So I could tie you if we have different picks for the next game.
You could, and then I would grant you winner if you were closer to the score.
What is that next game, Sam?
Let's find out.
Yay,
We have
segue!
The San Francisco 49ers winners over the Green Bay Packers. Mind you, both number one seeds lost last week to the Bengals in the AFC, San Francisco in the NFC. Goodbye, Green Bay, and the Los Angeles Rams, who are trying to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So, Jessica, who you got?
So I think I might have said it last week. I have extreme confidence in the Rams. Even though you put up the wrong logo, I still have a lot of confidence in them. And I think that they will. I think that they'll play in their Super Bowl in their home stadium. Before the San Francisco 49ers and Green Bay game started, I remember saying, I think it might have been to Jim, I was like, it's probably not going to happen, but how awesome would it be if San Francisco knocked off Green Bay right now? And I said that they were probably one of the best, if not the best, matchups for Green Bay. And lo and behold, they did. They took them out. And I think that they're a really well-rounded team. They're like kind of like the mini version of the Rams, in my opinion. They have a good offense, a good defense, and sometimes an inconsistent quarterback who throws a lot of picks. So they have a lot of similarities there. Some really versatile players, but the Rams have way more that they've figured out, in my opinion. They've got, their defense is as solid as it gets. The weapons on their defense, the sacks, the rushes, it's insane. And they can be fully trusted to hold the 49ers and make Jimmy G make some major mistakes, which he's likely to do. And then the offense, yes, Stafford is up and down and he's not entirely consistent, throws the most pick sixes out of anybody in the league. But he's been looking really good. And he's got multiple options on his team. He's got Cooper Kupp. He's got Higbee, I believe. He's got OBJ now. And now that he's got like at least the 3 to throw it to, OBJ can even be in there as a distraction. And he's, they can't double up man coverage on Cooper Kupp, so they just have limitless options. So I'm definitely going with the Rams in this one. And I think it's going to be 7 to 10 points. What the heck are you doing, Sam? How come every time I'm talking,
I'm stretching my shoulder, okay? I'm a little stiff.
They're trying to knock you off your game. They're just afraid of the knowledge that you spew. So
it is. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're going to win it by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, Brady?
Well, let me just say, I have as much confidence in the San Francisco 49ers in this game as I do Sam's spelling ability. You spelled conference wrong. So I think this game is going to be an absolute blowout. San Francisco, I think, got by the skin of their teeth last week because it really looks like Aaron Rodgers doesn't know how to play in the playoffs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That Green Bay offense looked absolutely flat last week. 10 points. We could put up 10 points. That was garbage. And so the 49ers, they scored 13, 7 of which was on a blocked punt. So their offense put up a whopping 6 points. I do not think there is a chance in Hades that is enough. What their 49ers did last week is enough to go against that loaded Rams team. So I think the Rams are going to win this by at least 2 scores, with scoring on at least 2 sides of the ball, either one on offense and one on defense or special teams. But I think the Rams are really going to shine in this game.
Tarik?
All right, yeah. So, yeah, which way do I go? So I have picked
Left.
left. Yeah. Okay. So I've picked the Rams.
That's
Multitude of reasons. I mean, I don't have the stats and the info, and nor do I do the research to sound anywhere as learned about this stuff as Brady and Jess here. These are two teams I'm generally unfamiliar with. Just looking at records, looking at how they're playing, watching the playoffs that everyone else is watching. I think the San Francisco, last time they were in the Super Bowl, they lost to the Ravens in 12, I believe, and that was not Jimmy G. I'm not saying
Had to turn the power off to give him a chance.
Yeah, exactly, and it still didn't work. And so the Rams, I don't think they've been anywhere near here since they were in LA the last time. I don't think did they do anything while they were in St. Louis?
Yeah, they won
British
one
show
Super
and turf.
Bowl, lost another Super Bowl, and
Okay.
when they got back to LA, they went to a Super Bowl against Brady.
Oh. Again, like I said, I'm not familiar with these teams apparently. So, but I'm going with the Rams. I like the cut of their jib a little bit better.
Man likes Tigers, the man likes Jib.
Yep, there we go.
Yep. Let's ram it home here, folks. So the word conference is spelled wrong. I was a little tired when I was writing this, but
Love you, buddy.
it happens. It happens, when you're doing this for every week for the entire NFL playoff, NFL, season. Things happen. And I love the logo, Jess.
I mean, I don't dislike it.
Well, maybe I'll change it next year.
I like it better than the one that they actually use, let's be honest.
As long as next year you're still calling the Washington football team the Washington football team. So you can stay like a year behind on each year.
We find out Wednesday, right? Don't we find out Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it's the second.
Yeah, Tuesday.
They're going to name themselves the Groundhogs.
Tuesday's the first.
Oh, Tuesday is the first. Yes, it's Wednesday.
My theory is that they're going to be the Groundhogs. That's why they're picking February 2nd.
Either that or they're going to keep telling us over and over and over again. What a nightmare. Anywho, so one thing I think everybody is forgetting is that the Rams are like 0-7 against the San Francisco 49ers in their last 7 meetings. These teams, San Francisco's had St. Louis. St. Louis. Wow.
Now you're like 4 years behind.
This is what happens when I have to talk about Rams history. Mind you, I did go to a game in St. Louis when they were the St. Louis Rams. That stadium was pretty bad. I'm glad they moved. But not because of, St. Louis was a decent city, I guess. Anywho, back on track. The 49ers, an incredible offense. Not last week. They had an incredible defense against a guy who seems to poop the bed in the playoffs. At some point, he was destined to lose. I don't think Aaron Rodgers may not make it back to a Super Bowl in a Green Bay uniform. He might not be a Green Bay Packer next year. Who knows? But Jimmy G held that team together, got them down the field at the end of this game to kick that game-winning field goal. The Rams had that huge lead, 27-3 against the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's. And I immediately said, man, they really need to score again. And what happened? They almost lost. They needed a field goal at the end of the game to win it, 30-27. It was bad. It was kind of funny to watch. This team is a boom or bust team. They will score points, but they will also give up points. They remind me a little bit of Jameis Winston, who threw the last time he was a full-time starter, threw over 30 touchdowns and over 30 interceptions in the same year. And his team ended up 8-8. So with all that being said, the Rams are an incredible team. They're super talented, and Matthew Stafford has never been to this point in his career. Jimmy G has only been as a backup. So we're going to see what happens. I have the Rams winning. I think this is going to be super close. This is going to be the close one, in my opinion. I think it's going to come down to a last-second field goal. And, fingers crossed.
You do not sound confident in that.
Now, mind you, I would love to see a Bengals-Rams Super Bowl because the Rams have won one Super Bowl. The Bengals have won 0 Super Bowls. And I love seeing a new team. If my team can't win it, I love seeing a new team.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
I agree completely. I don't want to see, Tarik and I have talked about this at work. I don't want to see football become like baseball in that way, where the same 4 to 6 teams are constantly in it, because I personally believe a main proponent why the MLB is not as popular is because you see the same 6 to 8 teams.
Yeah.
And that's the fun thing about football is there's always that pesky team like the 49ers who just find a way to sneak in, and now here they are in the championship game.
Right. With football, you get one game. And if you have a bad game, guess what? You lose.
Yeah, it's not the best series out of 3 or 4,
right.
Whatever.
Where the team who has the higher payroll, who is the better team, 9 times out of 10 wins. In this, it's closer to a 50-50 shot if you're any type of decent. So I believe that's part of the reason why the NFL is so much more popular. Baseball, you're right. It's the Yankees have won 28 World Series. It's crazy. They are the most winningest team in the World Series by over a dozen.
And that's why I'm with you though, Tarik, when you say I don't want to see Kansas City in the Super Bowl again, because they are starting to become that team.
Yeah, they're starting to become, and I hate to say this, the New England Patriots.
I was gonna say they're not there yet, though. Like,
no, but the fact that they've gone how many years, like now New England won more. Like I think Tom Brady only lost 2, and they were both to the Giants.
Nope, he's lost more than that.
What, 1 more?
Yeah, 1 more. I think he is 7-3 in Super Bowls.
Brady.
Yeah, no one else has 7 anything. I mean, the Steelers are the only other ones that have 7
6.
anything.
And
6.
how many times have the Kansas City Chiefs been to the Super Bowl? 3?
How many times have they been in the
Oh,
Super Bowl?
yes, that's right. That is correct. 7-3 because he lost to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
And Nick Foles.
Yes.
Large Johnson, Nick Foles.
The Kansas City Chiefs have been to a total of 4 Super Bowls. They've won 2.
4 Super Bowls in how long?
Since the beginning of the Super Bowl era.
Okay, so
But they've been to
2
in
recently,
the last 4 years.
and they've been in the championship 4 straight years. So this will be the 4th year in a row.
In Kansas City.
yeah, see, I'm not like in my lifetime of watching football.
Not very long.
The Chiefs have been to the Super Bowl twice, so
Mhm.
I don't think they're anywhere near there yet. And coming from somebody who's a Dallas fan over there, like Sam.
Yeah, I'm a Dallas fan. I'm not ashamed of it, but like I said,
We can't be complaining about if teams having monopolies on the Super Bowl only if it's not our team. You know what I mean? Like, and I think one of the main reasons why NFL is so popular, a couple of reasons, is because number one, they make an insane amount of money. They're the most profiting nonprofit in the world, right? So like they have tons of advertising. They have like celebrities on every team. Like they get people's attentions. And besides that, it's a shorter season with less games. So everything is higher stakes, more risk. Not like baseball. Good Lord. There are way too many games.
I make that argument to baseball people, and they get so mad.
I will keep this short because we don't talk about baseball here, but it's 2 words that why football is more popular than baseball. Salary cap.
Yep.
It's an
I said
even
that
playing
first.
field for every organization. If there was a salary cap in every sport like there is look how like competitive the NBA is. Look how competitive football is. because every team has the same amount of dollars to work with trying to build the best roster possible.
I would.
Well, yeah,
Baseball don't have that.
Look at what hockey did.
In that.
Hockey did the same thing. So hockey just expanded this year with another team, and they just expanded. So what they do, they have the salary caps, and then every team, when the Las Vegas Golden Knights and then the Seattle Kraken, everyone had to donate a player. Everyone had to pick a player from their team and donate it. Donate
It's
them.
fair,
That's
but
happening in the
and
NFL.
that's the way that I see it as a perennial, fan of the Baltimore Orioles, one of the worst baseball teams ever. You see these same teams going to the playoffs no matter what sport it is. And I want to see those scrappy teams, the San Francisco 49ers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the teams that haven't been in it for a long time. Like when those teams make it, it's the underdog story. Of course, I want them to do well because who knows when they're going to do well again.
Can't tell we're all from Baltimore that we love an underdog story.
Damn right.
And Jessica, yeah, I'm gonna root for my team in the playoffs. I'm gonna root for them every year.
Saying that, but I'm saying obviously you're gonna.
But the year that the Eagles went and won the Super Bowl, and I hate the Eagles, I was rooting for the Eagles.
I don't think there was any person outside of New England, except for Dan Baker, who's a friend of mine from work, that was rooting for the Patriots in that Super Bowl.
Nope.
I mean, that just generally proves the point. I know Jess's point. They're not there yet. The Chiefs are not there yet. I just don't want to see them
Get anywhere close.
get that point. If they become one of the dominant teams like the Colts and the Patriots from the early 2000s and stuff like that, where it's like they're the teams making it to the playoffs, that's one thing. But if they're getting into the Super Bowl every freaking time, that's where it's like
Definitely. One of the differences though is like when you look at those teams, you saw a gradual building, and they were just getting better and better and better, like by the year, because they had a good foundation and they were building on that with key players they were obtaining. Right, they already had Tom Brady, they already had a good O-line, they had what they needed, and they were just putting the other pieces into play as the years went on. Whereas like the Kansas City Chiefs, they looked great the other years, and then this year everybody was like, what the hell, who is that? That is not a good team. Like, so I'm all for it this year.
all right then.
Just revamp their defense this year and it still sucks. So
All right, let's take a look at the breakdown of who everybody picked. Of course, Booger couldn't be here today, but you see his picks right there. Kansas City and San Francisco. He is the only person to pick San Francisco to beat the LA Rams, even though I think that's going to be a closer game than most of us have predicted.
Did you fix your picture?
I did. Take a look. I at least got something right this week. On top of the teams that I picked to go to the Super Bowl.
I was really looking real hard for something to pick here, but I'm just going to let it go.
Did you find something?
I'll keep that to myself.
Are one of the pictures off a little bit? Oh, God.
That's the wrong shade of red.
Oh, my God. There's a gap.
I'll let our
between
viewers
Jessica's head and
comment
the
what they
LA
think is
Rams.
wrong on this slide.
There's a mini gap between Jessica's head and the LA Rams.
over San
Well-
Francisco.
What's up?
You guys all picked Dallas over San Francisco?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were the only person to pick San Francisco.
I did not realize that.
Helped you to get
Well-
to that 5-1.
Well, it depends on what chart she looks at, because in last week's chart she did pick Dallas.
Yeah. First indication that there was a mistake.
Hey, as we say here, perfection is a work in progress.
Absolutely. But it's going to be an exciting week. I can't wait. Can't wait to watch them. Sunday, guys. Sunday.
Neither can the puppy, apparently.
That would be my brother's dog. He is a big, fat, annoying animal.
Oh, I'm familiar with that dog.
Yes. Anywho, we should be back next week for the Hall of Fame honors.
Yeah, we will.
We will be dressing up formally, I guess.
Yes, of course. Come see us in our Sunday best.
Yes, you'll be surprised as to who everybody is going to do a presentation on. It's going to be fun. Tarik, I gave you the most interesting person in the world.
Me?
I'm done. Send this home. That man likes likes tigers and Jim. Send us home, Sam. Come on.
Let's do it, Tarik.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for this whole season. Thank you for doing our whole 17 subscribers. Please like, comment, leave Tiger gifts, gifs, memes, whatever in the comments. Tell us who you think is going to win, and we'll see you next week. As always, I'm Tarik.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Siegfried and Roy.
And I am Brady. Oops. I am Sam. And you have a great football week.
Bye, guys.